hate Paul Moody. I hate the contractor that came and ruined all the work that I ever did in this house. This is 2023. My mom passed. And this will be a series. If you're going to watch this and pay attention, you're going to understand the struggle that you yourself put into a house can ruin your life and make it miserable. These are the videos. Pay attention to anything that says Moody Pella. So 2023, you can see what I got on me. It just sets me off. Door and window foam. Why am I using door and window foam? Well, because Pella installed these windows and I inadvertently got it on me. I don't know how. It's on my shirt. It's on my sleeve cuff. It's on my pants. I just want to survive the winter. So my job today, October 14th, Ring of Fire Day, 2023, was to fill in Pella's windows faults. I have to do this to stay protected from freezing, and I have to do this if I want air in a house. I've already showed on another video, or I might be putting it in here. I don't know what yet. I have to caulk this edge yet, but window and door foam going in there. And then what I do, because there's only a few of them, what I do is I ended up routing it out so I can get to the air. Companies that take your money, they're thieves. And then they do business. Pella's one of them. Vista Windows another one. The court, the judge, the two lawyers for both defendants, the court who saw the evidence that said the structural engineer report, he's got it. Says so in his October 2nd, 2012, and we'll be examining that. The main beam dropped directly to a window leak. And these windows are replacing the Vista windows. These are the Vista windows. This is the house after I finished the renovation. My mom was very proud. She took the photo of that. That's how it looked. I had roofed off the porch all the way around there. This is an 1848 mainframe house. I have been inundated from soot. I sat here and cleaned this fireplace out. I was kneeling down and cleaning all this, but the soot came in past my legs up high. I don't know how many buckets full it took me to dump it out this window. But that's what I did. I dumped it out the window. There's only a few features around here anymore that are the original. That is the frame, which is now rotting. The flooring. This is part damage from the windows because it's going and going, and the beam is dry rotting because the leaks were right under the windows. And this is the main floor beam. Beam that dropped was part of the new beam, was over there. So this is what the floor looked like. This entire downstairs floor had this finish on it. I spent 2 sanders. This part of the flooring and the kitchen, there's only 2 pieces of floor left. It was this pine. And now this floor is as badly gapped. It's as badly gapped as this other pine floor that I had the contractors take out. Your beam drops and it takes all the flooring with it. The nails are popping. So we replaced the trap door that had this same pine on it. Replaced all this wood across there. There's some studding up across there that when this portion was open, we replaced that. I put new studs up against the old studs here. Will be like a new stud and an old stud. I brought the fireplace back because it was totally off. It was just horsehair plaster. The grit in my teeth from the months of tearing off some of this plaster around here. It's like toothpaste. I would be black-faced at night. And the worst problem is I didn't have any running water for a period of time. So taking a shower, going to the bathroom, that was hard for me. The second story had a bathroom in it, and there was a bookcase that sat here. So the main pipe that went to the toilet would come down and go that way. And it's underneath that rug. So I had him tear out all that pipe, and that's how I went to the bathroom. I would go in the basement in a makeshift toilet and then dump it into the main sewage. Used to come in this door. This bump out didn't exist. That light sconce was the main outside light. This had been the original door. This portion across here, there was a main. First there had been a window. My dad took it out. And then there was a doorway, so you went around to the doorway. And that was all open across there. My mom had a couple closets put in there. My dad added on about right where this is in the 1950s. And when we step over this beam, this was added on in 1877. And it went down this very narrow door. I had the door replaced because I can't remember exactly where it stopped at. I think the original door stopped somewhere around in here. I fixed this plaster, painted everything down there. I put hardabacker and insulated behind there. I spent Christmas on that. I did the ceiling in this house. This ceiling, I painted 3 different shades, so I made it a depth, put some clouds in here. I had to figure out a way to shrink my mom's kitchen up because she had a long and build in a new custom kitchen that cost like $3,000. Apparently that was very, very expensive. Washer and dryer went there for a period of time so that she had a first floor access to that. I put wine racks up here in planning this. This was the stove area. I opened that up and left it, but we shut that off. And you can see the cracks that is starting. There's a big gap. I don't know what I have along. Start to tuck under that. Because the contractor didn't flash the window that was up above. There are 2 windows up here. So I came down to go to the bathroom. I put a downstairs toilet in. I had cut through the cement. I did all the plumbing in this house. I ran the plumbing. I'll show that at a different time, but I ran the plumbing all the way to the wall. It comes in there, and then I shot it off to the main wall across there, and it comes through the joist because I don't like going through the studding. I don't like putting holes in. So, merit a point. This was still open. The door was still here. And that was the first floor, getting ready to do a bathroom and a bedroom for my dad. So I went downstairs to go to the bathroom, and I found a big wet spot in the basement. And then I came up and I entered my dad's room. And I found a great big wet spot there beside a heater. Not one like that, which was running. My dad's like 81, 2 at this point. I think he's using a walker. It's been a while. And the whole thing's kind of a nightmare and a blur. But this puddle of water from that window up above, which leaked down onto the beam, the court has a structural engineer report saying that this beam dropped directly to a window leak. So here I am, 2023, fixing Pella's windows, which replaced Vista's windows. I'm getting crap all over me. I can't tell you how much it pissed me off. We had put the wall back here, and I had the task of getting in behind every wall. That's probably the only one that has plaster on it. There's a couple of walls. That wall, the inside of that wall, the inside of the kitchen wall. I think the rest of them are all plywood. Why plywood? The reason I had to rip off the 2008/9, I don't recall exactly when I did it, but I tore off all the walls, the horsehair plaster, whatever. lath and plaster. I put insulation behind it. And then I had to tear off the drywall after the leaks in 2011, maybe into 12. I decided that if I was ever going to have to do this again, might as well make it reasonable. So I ended up getting plywood, which was more insulating, and I put screws in it. It's actually supposed to have some of this stuff over it. It's around here, but I don't want to attach it because the house is falling in. This stuff is popping. It held through 2 sandings because the whole bleeping floor is going. That didn't exist. There are gaps and stresses in here that didn't exist. Yeah, there are criminals that take your money and they call themselves company. What really ticks me off is that someone steals your car. The sheriff department will come along and they will say that that person's criminal for stealing your personal property. So this is my personal property. It's worth more than a car. And someone has ruined it to the tune of, I think by the time we went through the courts, I added up my labor. When my mom had to take out a $40,000 loan to replace the material for the lawsuits, including the new windows, the labor for that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that was wrapped into it. And pay interest on it. She paid like $20,000 interest. And she died at 83. She took out the loan like about 79. This was supposed to be their retirement. And that doesn't even get into what I did outside that's all ruined. Can't tell you how much I like and hate this place all at once. And I'm just blowing off some steam. Those doors I started to talk about behind me, I had made sure that my mom had her room over here. And she would often put up the steps actually went up this way. My dad built them down as well. She would put up across this section of it to block the draft in a sense. I think it was just an old blanket. And then she had one between where that one went and that one went. This was the main door that I sanded down. And she would put one up here too. So what I did, I bought some doors. I bought one of these, and we have 2 of those. These 2 little ones would make a pocket door that went across here so she could just slide this off. And then she was able to slide. That's why we put this great big one up here. She was able to slide off. Give her some more privacy, some more security for being on the first floor because that's now the main entrance, but the main entrance had been over there. All the things you put into a house. This house is not big either. And I don't know if I said it. I think I added up over $300,000 between my labor, my mom's loan, what they invested into the property to start with, for the new windows, the sanding, and what I couldn't do, I hired done. Like studding and flooring and windows. I hate Paul Moody. I hate courts that don't look at, why do you think that someone is filing in a court? For pleasure? We go to court for pleasure because it's fun? Maybe a lawyer does. But when you're just a layman, you want your money back. I don't know why a contractor who knows, and he admits in his interrogatories, is not filed with the court because the court precluded trial. But the court knows that they're being taken. I'll talk about the lawsuit on another thing. But this house is just ruined. The property's ruined. And a court that doesn't want to look at evidence at all is not a court of justice.